blue, they all on my. Hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long. I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit. Ex-slick, then hit with the. Back then, used to out the zip. Blind as back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things pull out the VIP. Suck, turn up, baby, pour out the milk. Play no how I drip.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, there are a few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect clear afternoon. Heck, you can see all the way to Mount Rainier in the distance here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. Seated next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, this one featuring a couple of playoff teams from a season ago, back at it again in 2019.
And we both felt the confidence from both of these teams, right? They feel like they will be back in the playoffs again, but they shouldn't be overconfident. 7 teams last year made the playoffs that didn't make it the previous year, so you're not assured of going back year after year.
Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
I remember meeting him when he was playing at Cal, and I remember walking away thinking, instead of having Rodgers stitched on the back of his jersey, it should just say confidence, because that's how he felt about his own abilities and his ability to elevate a team.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Give them 22 yards, and that's also where they snapped it from, the 22.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. So an early wake-up call there leads to a quick 2nd and long. Rodgers now to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 34. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one again,
and Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Montez Sweat picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now Rodgers. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So here come the Saints now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early are still there. Otherwise, he could lose the confidence that they have in him.
Yeah, hoping to get rid of that interception bug. Now a man who really stepped up last year. This is Matt Breida. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A throw over the middle, taken in. 30, past the 20, touchdown, New Orleans. John Ross, his second touchdown on the season, and the Saints have taken the lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Double time, 40, alert.
They run. Martin. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively, because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at it.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Byron Murphy, the rookie from Washington. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Rodgers. This complete to Martin. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
What we got? Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Go, guys, 4 down, 4 down. 50 seconds.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And they come off a tough loss last week, and what's their reward? A 2nd straight road game. Rarely are teams happy about scheduling. They're always calling the league office saying, how come we have this game and that game? But when you're coming off of a loss on the road and you go right into another one, that's a difficult task.
From the 30 on 2nd down. Wilson, he's got it to Williams. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And a look at Seattle's defense.
And there he is, the man they call the Maniac. Outside linebacker Darius Leonard, who had a fantastic rookie season in 2018. 7 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, ranged from sideline to sideline making plays. He's the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, 1st-team All-Pro. But can you believe this? Didn't get selected initially for the Pro Bowl.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Wilson, it's Williams on the catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13. This is Marlon Mack, 3rd-year running back. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. The Saints with a football here to begin quarter number 2 as they're facing a very tough 3rd and 11. On third down, Wilson. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. This is caught inside the 15. That's one heck of a third down conversion, a pickup of 39.
That's an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They go play action now. Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Byron Murphy, the rookie from Washington. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated.
And Rodgers is going to go down. In the end zone, it's a safety. I think you'd have to say this crowd here in Seattle, this 12th man, had something to do with that.
As well as the architect of this stadium. Combined with this crowd noise, makes it very difficult to run offense. And here, 2 points result for the defense.
It is deafening in here. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite at that level and not at that age. But I
was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Here's Wilson. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. He'll get 3 up to midfield. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. From midfield now, here's Wilson. He can run for it, and he will. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 35.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, here's Breida. And an alley to run. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. Matt Breida, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, we focus on him for our players' spotlight. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. On play action, Rodgers uncorks one for Davis. That's caught inside the 20. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 59 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
First down, here's the run with Martin. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On second down, Martin. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Following the penalty, Martin. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. On the draw, here's Martin. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. Working from the gun, Rodgers. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Anthony Fertzer, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are back within a single score. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes, because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Marlon Mack now heading back out there. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
A run there on 1st down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
14.
Now Wilson. And an alley to run. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Saints on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
Now Wilson. An incomplete, crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down. So line of scrimmage still to 39 on 2nd and 10. Wilson now throwing again. Flushed out right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, New Orleans. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat able to record his 5th sack of the season. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Rodgers going to throw. Completes it to Davis. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. But he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Watch the pass.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Thomas has got it, complete. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers, and it's complete to Martin. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 45-yard line. Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Here's Rodgers to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. A well-executed 22-yard gain. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. So we have reached halftime with a visiting, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, Wilson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Alert, alert, alert. Let's go.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Well, let's see who's faster.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. From the gun, a give to Martin. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Martin. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now Rodgers. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Deshaun Jackson getting set to go again on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. How many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game?
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he's got a man, Corey Davis.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Hey, defense, let's go.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Washington's got it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. They will find Davis. That's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Well, I'm going to have to stretch for this one. This is 4th down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the fourth quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one, but I don't think they're built like that.
Now Martin. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
It's an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
We got this.
John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here, 3rd quarter. We'll see what else he has in store for us. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. He's got a man. It's Williams. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson, eluding the pressure right. The throw taken in by Cole. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 31. They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This is Breida. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Saints 1st down there on a gain of 11. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now. The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now it's Wilson. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Defensively by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because they knew coming into this game, but we've already seen examples in this contest that he can run the football.
I think they're going to examine different ways to rush him now. Are they going to do it with different lanes? Are they going to use a spy? But they have to come up with options because right now, he's hurting them.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. This complete to Martin. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
They go right back to Mack. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now it's Breida, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
You go tight. You got tight. Tight.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Forced out to his left. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They'll try and run for this with Mack. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And they will take a knee here. So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for New Orleans, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals.